cop revealed to be racist may have framed an innocent black male. Let's put up the picture for mass interesting story, hell of a background. So St. Louis cop sent a black man to prison. The jury never heard about the officer's past. Watkins, who has been appealing his case for years without success, he's pictured there, did not know about the officer's past until he was informed by a reporter from Independent during a March interview at the Jefferson City Correctional Center, where he is incarcerated, currently incarcerated. So here's what happened. It was after midnight on August 10th, 2013. In the Dutchtown neighborhood, and an argument that had been building for hours among a group of young men escalated into a shootout. Pinkerton said he saw two men rush by the mouth of the alley, shooting as they ran. He could not see what happened next, if anyone had been shot. Okay. The longtime St. Louis Metropolitan Police officer raised his upper torso above the dumpster. He later said in a deposition and ordered the man to stop. It was one of the shooters trying to flee, Pinkerton thought. Possibly one he'd seen run by earlier, but he couldn't really tell at that point. He later said, when the man kept running and appeared to raise his gun, Pinkerton fired 5 shots. He thought he hit him. The man was kind of staggering, Pinkerton later said, but he escaped. Pinkerton, who was white, said he only saw the man's face for a few seconds and could not determine his age or note any distinguishing characteristics. He was black, 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighed about 180 pounds, and bald. That's according to Pinkerton. He wore blue jeans and a black shirt. So about 15 minutes later, Pinkerton fired his gun. Other officers arrested Kurtis Watkins, Mr. Watkins, 23 years of age, black male, 2 blocks away. Pinkerton identified him as the man he had seen run through the alley. Based solely on Pinkerton's account, Watkins has been incarcerated for the last 11 years. Convicted of shooting and critically injuring a man. Watkins says he had nothing to do with it. In his account, he wasn't at the scene of the shooting or in the alley that night. He was walking from a friend's house to a convenience store when he got arrested. He says he did not know the victim or anyone involved. He had no discernible motive for the shooting. There was no physical evidence connecting him to the shooting. None of the witnesses to the shooting said they knew who he was. He's not in their circle, in other words. Another man who was apprehended and convicted in the shooting testified he had never seen this guy they arrested named Watkins. Contextualize this. No evidence, no forensics, no witnesses, no camera, but you do have the testimony of a white male officer. That's it. Nothing else. He gets convicted. He's in for 11 years. Remember when we reported on these racist cops who get exposed and how the prosecution should go back and review all of the cases where the cops or that cop provided testimony? This is why. This man had no idea that the officer was revealed to be a racist. Had no idea until a reporter informed him. There's more. As part of the, investigation, the Independent uncovered 2 pieces of information, about Pinkerton that could have cast doubt on the credibility, but the jury never heard them. First, less than 1 year before Watkins was arrested, Pinkerton, the cop, arrested a man he encountered in a gas station parking lot named Curran Harris, who he mistakenly believed was the suspect in an earlier robbery. Pinkerton chased the 39-year-old black man, tackled him to the ground, and then held him face down. Put him in a chokehold as another officer shot him with a taser. Harris died at the scene, and the robbery case remains open. Second, Pinkerton had a history of social media posts denigrating black people that raised concern from at least one of his colleagues at the time. And that's his colleague that went on record. Believe me, other colleagues had a problem with it that were black. Now, quote, "Black people are pathetic," end quote. That was one of his go-to posts. It was on Facebook. You don't want to be treated equally. You want favored treatment. And you wonder why there is so much animus toward you. This is a cop breaking the morals clause, creating the defense attorney's dream. This is the cop who provided testimony against the black male where there's absolutely no corroborating evidence whatsoever. As a matter of fact, all the evidence that we have exonerates the guy. But this one cop's testimony provides the fuel in order to convict him. That is a game changer if introduced to a jury. Well, the cop's racist. Yeah, here it is right here. All right. So Watkins, who has been appealing his case for years without success, did not know about the officer's past until he was informed by a reporter from the Independent. That was during a March interview at the Jefferson City Correctional Center. Thank God for the Independent, where he is now incarcerated. Quote, "All along, he's racist," Watkins said from the visitor's room. This was at a super maximum facility, correctional center, when he talked about Pinkerton's history with a reporter. Quote, "They let him put me in prison?" I mean, he had one of those moments where he realized everybody else knew. They knew he was racist. He says, "They let him put me in prison?" Yes, they did, brother. They did. Quote, "So because I have a background, do I deserve to be in prison for somebody else's crime?" he asked. Officer Pinkerton did not respond to calls, emails, and certified letters seeking comment for this story. He appeared to block an independent reporter on Facebook after several messages went unanswered. Great reporting by the Independent. I'm thankful for your leadership, especially in this story. We will echo your sentiment and also provide any assistance in order to correct this injustice. For those who hear this story, you know what to do as advocates for justice as well. This brother needs to be home. He needs to be home immediately. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Yeah, apparently his lawyer didn't deserve to be his lawyer either. A simple social media post when your client says, "I had nothing to do with this," and wasn't. So that's sick and disgusting too. And yet after you gave all those facts, Dr. Richey, there will still be people who twist themselves into a pretzel to explain it away, that no, it couldn't have been. And even though he posted on social media, that's separate from the job he was doing, and on and on and on. I support the Independent too, but I can tell you that a journalism student could have also done this same reporting. That's how sad and sick this is. Sick.
Yeah. And once again, not isolated at all.
Thank
all right?
you. Thank you, Indisputable.
Yeah. We're going to bring updates as they come.